Chance for Torquay. Chris Hargreaves, the captain. If he stays on side, Carlisle checks instead. He's looking for Benyon. Sells.
Hello and welcome to episode 2 of this week's Gull'S View. We've got a special guest. We've got Sheridan has joined us again to give us a Yeovil and Weston Super Mare actually insight. Sheridan, thank you.
Thanks for having me again.
No worries. I mean, we won't play any of the clips from the start of the pre-season episode we did, where we're all like, "Oh, Torquay are going to win the league," and Yeovil, and you're like, "Oh, Yeovil will be there," and then
it was only banter, wasn't it?
Yeah, we didn't mean it. We didn't actually believe it, you know. And then we also played the clips afterwards when we were like, "Oh, I think we're all going to pick up. We should make playoffs." But here we are. Obviously, not all of it's down to financial difficulties, but obviously there's a lot of things going on. But here we are, Yeovil and Torquay, a team. Was it 3 wins away from winning the title?
Yeah,
been there, done it. It's a bit overrated. We've done a National League South title. We're going for Southern League at the moment, and Torquay United, who are trying to stay up National League South after a heroic 1-0 win against Hampton and Richmond. Oh, it's been a tough few years, hasn't it? Right, anyway, let's talk Yeovil Town, actually. So outsiders in, obviously, we're completely walking it, still should do, but it's been a little bit tricky recently. I mean, it does happen. It does happen, of course. It's very rare you do just win the league by 20, 30 points.
Thank you. You tell our supporter base this, please.
Yes, yeah, no, we've seen many teams like that.
That's unfair. That's unfair. The support's been amazing, but I think there's 2 things in that. One, we've got PTSD from the last 10 years of losing.
Yes.
And so this little wobble, we'll call it,
will cause a big tremor in the fans. Yeah, no, it would be the same with us. It'd be the same with us.
And like, I'm not gonna lie, I felt it too, and I said I didn't watch a lot of the games during that period, so I just kind of heard, and you know what fans like, we were awful, we were this.
Yeah.
So it's all quite tough. However, I think we have to put it into perspective. That if you'd have said to me, we are heading to the end of March, and you are 7 points clear, 3 wins away from the title with
about
a game
30 above Torquay. I don't want to look anymore.
I'd have said, I'll bite your hand off.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah. And also, like you say, every team goes through it. We're just going through it at perhaps the less than ideal time. And by going through it, I mean we didn't win in 4, but we got 2 draws in that time.
You peaked at the right time in the season, I believe.
Right in the middle, didn't you? Had that unbeaten run.
Yeah, I think that was the best part.
Where you needed to be.
It becomes more of just getting the job done at this part of the season.
Just for the purposes of correctness, the exact answer was 39 points.
Perfect. Well done. Thank you.
But that's actually 29, isn't it, in actual points gained? So
well, that makes me feel a lot better.
20.
Thank you.
Yeah, 29, not 30.
The pride is intact, lads. Up the yellows.
No, it's not. I think it's social media and Sheridan that riles everything up. I think because it didn't used to be quite that bad. I don't think before that's come in.
Teams do lose games.
Panicked. Yeah, it gets a bit crazy, doesn't it?
And I think as well, like we hadn't lost at home all season, and how often do you see that happen? I mean, I covered Southampton during that ridiculous run where they hadn't lost in 2020. Yeah. Then they lost 2 games in a row, and then we lost 2 home games in a row. You see it happen all the time.
People have just lost that idea that teams lose. Like even if you go back to like all the Fergie teams that won the leagues and they lost games, you know, they had the games where they're Rooney or whatever would have a shocker. But nowadays it's all, this person had a shocker, they're terrible, they're finished, especially at a higher level, of course. But it's a joke.
I think a lot of that's come from Manchester City and Liverpool though, over the last few years. You know, some people don't realise that anything exists outside the Premier League. And actually Liverpool, Manchester City for what, 2 or 3 years, we really were in a situation whereby the odd point here, the odd point there. You think Liverpool got 97 points and didn't win the Premier League? So the odd point there, the odd point there. So I think people kind of think every league's like that. And if you lose more than 2 games, you're not going to win the league. But you know, the lower down you go, the more it's not like that. You know, in reality, it's not like that, is it?
What do the supporters think about the manager these days? Because they had a bit of an on-off relationship with him, a bit.
I think that's a good way of putting it. I think the home fans get a little bit frustrated with the way we play. We draw teams out, we tire them out. We are very much playing it out from the back because that is our strength at the moment.
It's not ours.
we slow things down. We have a lot of the ball, and there's this thing that get it forward, Cooper. Get it forward, Cooper. And I just don't think it's as simple as that.
No.
I mean, just especially when you're playing. I think what Mark Cooper has done so brilliantly this season is adjusting to this league.
Yes, I agree.
I'm looking ahead at the National League, and I think we need a lot. I think we need a lot to strengthen.
That sounds like it's in the bag already.
In the hope that we will be in the league above. I just think we are doing what we need to do at this level.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what we wanted. And the result on Saturday, you see it looks like it's huge. Despite the fact that I said that to Mark afterwards, he was like, it's just another win. Not huge.
Yeah.
But it was 1-0, but it was so comfortable. I was not concerned that we were going to concede. We just looked completely a step above them. And despite the fact they'd not lost in 14, we didn't look like we were going to throw anything away. We had chances. Their keeper made a fantastic save. So it really should have been 2-0, if not more. And I just think sometimes the teams that we play, the part-time teams particularly, can't handle that, can't handle us for 90 plus minutes.
You're totally right.
Well,
yeah, we thought it'd be like it because it was quite. I mean, the South has definitely improved since we were last in it.
Yeah.
Teams are a lot more wide. Teams are really well set up actually. But you were right, in this division. It's the National League is totally different. Where the South is literally just a case of tiring out these players. I mean, when we were last in it was just pure attack, and eventually they would buckle. Now it would. I don't think that would work as well. You have to be a bit more, tire teams out. Like you did against.
We found the team's fitter though this time. I'm sure they're fitter.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, we were the unfit team, so a lot of it.
They've come to play more and outrun us, haven't they?
Yeah.
But I suppose a lot of these part-time teams have gone to this hybrid model, which is effectively 3-4 days of training anyway. The Braintree game we didn't have a shot on target. That's how poor we were away at Braintree.
Yeah,
and that just highlighted our weaknesses right there.
I
think Yeovil should win the league. I personally think they will still. Because I think what's been lucky for Yeovil in a way is that when you have slipped up, teams behind you have slipped up as well. Chelmsford, God, I don't know who's third, like Braintree's, your Worthings, etc. They've all tend to have dropped points when Yeovil have. So, have you had any injuries, Sheridan, recently to attribute to that?
Very much so. We lost Reece Murphy, who is back in training this week.
Nice. Reece Murphy being injured? Never.
I know.
Because that's never happened before.
You know what, though? We knew that when we signed him. We knew there was a risk with his injury problems. He scored 14 goals. I'd have taken that. We knew we were getting into. And
Has Jake Hyde been injured as well?
Yeah, Jake Hyde's done for the season, so we won't see him again.
I thought that as well. Yeah, but they've still.
Yeah.
But you said Frank Newblay would be injured, Chris.
He stopped scoring until Saturday. I just thought, right, great. He's just getting ready for when we play them.
Yeah. He's
scored last week.
Back up again.
For a while, but
yeah. We also lost Michael Smith to injury, which I don't think I've ever known a side to lose a right back. And
he's very
so much. But he is.
And he's in training. I saw that.
Yes, he's back in training, which is huge. I don't think
they're all coming back for us.
Yeah, they are. They
are.
A bit wild how it's quite now without Michael Smith. It's quite a young back line, and he is just so influential. And so we were conceding silly goals without him, really. So
we're an expert in that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that really there's this constant debate with young players, isn't it? My debate is always, if you're good enough, it doesn't matter. A lot of people say, no, I've got to be a certain age. I just think, of course, you learn the more games you play. But for me, you're either good enough or you're not. And, you can coach that. Us at the weekend, the big difference was we brought Asa Hall back in, veteran midfielder, playing in centre-back, won every single ball. Dean Moxey won every single ball. Even Ross Marshall did all right. So, he was well guided.
Funny on that, I reckon Dom's the man for the stats, but I can't immediately think of another game this season where Moxey, Hall, Lapsley, Dawson and Halstead have all started. I think that's got to be the first time they've all started, and you saw the difference. But with Asa, it was just as much as Moxey's a lot of things, but he's not a talker, is he? But I mean, even just from sat in the stand, you could hear more than one of
the team.
And things like that.
Where we have just had some defenders, and I don't think they're terrible defenders at all, but together, where you don't have that leadership, it's just, and you're trying to play the ball at the back and you lose in possession. The last few weeks has been our problem, and the difference is ridiculous. And it even makes your goalkeeper, like Mark Houser, our keeper, he's a good keeper, but he needs a strong backline who's going to come and collect so he doesn't have to come for every cross. And as soon as he has that confidence, he's a totally different goalkeeper. Just having that experience and that talent more than anything at the back is so crucial as a platform. I was always chasing games, and that's been our problem all season.
Still not a fan of that 3-5-2 though.
No, I don't like it. But we use it better.
From what I can tell, Yeovil's strengths have been mainly defensive. Sheridan kept a lot of clean sheets and built from there. If you can win games 1-0, I've done quite a few times. We've had very few of those.
And like when you do go 1-0 up and you're confident that you're not gonna. That
must be a nice feeling.
Yeah, it's so important. And you get the headlines of the players that are scoring. Like we've signed 2 new players, but apart from that, there's only 2 players that haven't scored for us. So we have been scoring goals, but our defensive work has been.
And Joe Day still a keeper, I guess. Superb goalkeeper, especially at this standards. Yeovil basically done what we all hoped we would do. Obviously, looking back,
it's not done yet.
Yeah, but.
Oh, she's changed already. See,
but you know what I mean. I just had a squad as well. But I was alluding to a well-built squad, but we had 2 strikers in a 2-striker formation team.
Lose on Friday.
How was it?
Might be 3 points.
Don't get greedy now, Chris.
I'm trying.
We were taking it.
It'll be interesting if we go the same way again. Just kind of have Ace and Nubla up against each other, because that'll be kind of a direct match if we go with the same system as we had on Saturday. So they've barely got a knee between them, but. I mean, it'd be quite handy to. It'd be very useful, interesting to see kind of how that plays out, because normally Nubla is quite strong and physical, and kind of certainly in the game at our place. And then when he plays for us, he kind of moves around the pitch, doesn't he? Create space for other players. So it'd be interesting to see how we can kind of counteract that and kind of track that.
I don't want to rub it in, guys, but he's been sensational.
He's a clever player, isn't he?
He's a superb player.
I think he's signing the season. I think he's signing of the season.
Frank Nubla was one of my favourite players at Torquay, like in the last couple of years, because he's such a good footballing brain. Like he brings so much to the game, especially when he's getting onto the ball. Like just his movement and everything. He's a great character as well. So
I love him. I think
if we dropped a few of these players like Paul and Moxie, we could have probably afforded him. Actually, he might have come. So we should have changed our squad around, because he could have been a key man, couldn't he? I mean, you never know, but he's a big player.
I mean, it was a short time he was with you, but he's thrown himself into the community. I mean, he's got his now. Like
that's why he's popular. Yeah,
unbelievable. And he played at Braintree, and then he's hosting this academy on the Sunday, and
he's a great bloke.
Yeah, he's just a great bloke. And
that's why he's popular at all the clubs, even the clubs that hasn't worked for.
I mean, I spoke to him. I interviewed him after, and he just said, "We've all got our jobs. We all know what we do. I'm the governor," and that's that's gonna stick now. And I just love this club. I love the football.
He's one of those gambles of this, as I think last time you were on Sheridan, we were saying, it looked like a gamble that's paying off because with his kind of injury record that he's had. But he's proven to be a top class signing for Yeovil, and you see him on social media as well. He's so engaged with the fans on social media, something that, at our football club, that's almost,
He got lost.
Heresy. Can't do that. Can't do that at all.
He got lost under the last regime.
But even in a short spell with us, he was exactly the same. He was online. He was geeing the fans up, getting us all behind, the cause of trying to avoid relegation. And he's a leader. He's a leader in that dressing room.
He's a talisman, isn't he? I think is a good expression, because he leads. He's the sort of guy you want around the dressing room. Big personality. He just helps take the pressure away from other players, doesn't he?
And that, I mean, for what it's right. I've had a link with Yeovil for my sins for not for a long way off 20 years now. My wife's from Yeovil, so we're going for lunch with some friends of hers who and her husband and their boys go to pretty much every home game. You probably know them, and they go to his academy and say, because the team is Sonny Bluelow Everton, is he called? The guy that does it, and they say what a phenomenal bloke he is, and kind of how useful he's been to them. So we'll talk to them before kick-off, but not for a bit during the afternoon.
You know what, though? It's going to be a tough game. It was a great result on Saturday. I don't think it's going to be...
First 20 minutes will be the key. If we hold it. Yeah.
I know, obviously, you're battling against relegation, but all the pressure is on us. All the pressure is on us.
It's a free hit for us.
That puts us within 6 points of the title. That is such pressure on us. And as I said to you,
we need a result.
Last two home games we've lost. The fans do get edgy if we haven't gone one.
We need to score the first goal, Sheridan.
Yeah,
first 20 minutes is the key. You could like be 2 or 3-0 up.
You go 1-0 up, Jewish part will be panicking. And understandably so, but it will be panicking. And
I'll be there for that.
A lot of early goals, and when we don't score early goals, it's like our fans get a little bit jittery.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think for us it's a pretty hit because I mean, you know, any Torquay fan. I noticed the weather forecast appalling as well, which is about
where's your roof?
Yeah. So so
I don't care.
Someone was on to Sheridan on social media and about we'll put a roof on it again. But
that Boxing Day game from a few years ago, I've never been wetter than that. Really,
I can read all the comments there, all the Yeovil fans saying, "God, why are these lot all obsessed about putting a roof on our away end?"
Because it always rains in Yeovil, but it's a free hit for us, isn't it? We can turn up and, you know, if we can try and be positive and play like we did last week, and we were just much more. I mean, I think last weekend was our best performance of the season, and it wasn't, you know, we did the goals.
We didn't create loads, though. We didn't create loads. We were solid.
We did the basics well, though, I thought. Saturday.
Yeah, no, it was nice to see basics done.
Yeah, a lot of the challenges have been this season, the fact that we've just not battled, we've not chased every ball, we've not kind of competed against some teams, and especially away from home. But I think that was what we did well on Saturday, and we're going to have to do it again on Friday if we're going to have any chance to get it.
I think we've got to be quite brave as well, because we don't want to be just giving the ball back to them all the time. We've got to try and keep the ball, take the pressure off us, and get through that first. You said 20 minutes or so. Yeovil will probably start on top, won't they? So it's up to us to kind of face it.
I think that Saturday result as well is key as well, because I think we were all kind of going in thinking, well, we're not going to win against the next two. We're probably not going to win. I certainly felt that anyway. So to have that win against Hampton, if we do lose, then it's annoying, but it's probably not the worst thing, all things considered, considering we got the 3 points on Saturday. I just hope it's a really competitive, close game. You know, I'm sure it's going to be a raucous atmosphere. Maybe break the record again, Sheridan at home.
I think we're going to break the record again.
What is the record at the moment?
6 and a bit thousand, isn't it?
3, I think it was, something like that.
Because I'm sure we'll bring plenty along. If we don't bring near, I'd like to think we'll bring 1,000. Nearly double what they bought on a Tuesday night. But you know, but again, we're just. I guess the mood in our atmosphere at the club has completely changed. As we were saying before recording, since everything's gone on, the whole fan base and the whole club just feels completely different. We're united. We're just doing everything we can to survive. And it feels weird, but it does feel like we've got our football club back. I know again that behind the scenes there's still a lot going on, but you know, hopefully what we can get out of this, like Exeter and Plymouth did when they were in trouble, and come out stronger for it. And, you know, I'd just like to see us go. If we lose 3, 4-1, if we've had a go and competed, so be it in my book. We know we've got bigger fish to fry, sadly, this season. But no, I just hope it's a really good game. It stays dry. It'll be my first trip to Yeovil Park. So one to tick off the list.
And from a Yeovil fan's point of view, I think I speak for most sensible fans when I say we know what crap owners are like, and it is devastating, and no club the size of Torquay should be in the situation that it is. It's absolutely absurd. And for someone to take over a club and not do what it should be doing for the community is just outrageous. And we've been there, we know exactly what it's like. So we all hope that you get that you stay up. There's no way you should be in the Southern League. That's just ridiculous.
At least we can support a Premier League team.
Considering that option, that's not something
unthinkable
at this point.
Yeah,
unthinkable.
No, and quite rightly. And you know, I think it does. It maybe it will give you that thing to spur on, because when you've got a lot to play for. It did feel like you were sort of mid-table mediocrity at that point.
Yeah.
Don't do that. We don't do that.
Torquay do not do mid-table.
But what could have happened is we could have had the old owners, Gary Johnson could have stayed on, we could have stumbled into the playoffs, you know, all that. But this is a chance for new starts, a new thing. This could be a lot better, hopefully, in the long term, rather than us just rumbling along on the same issues.
Yeah, same lack of communication, not thing. But we do feel listened to now. We just got to hope that all that the politics iron out and all that stuff, and that we have our club fully back, and those behind it are fully for who are owning it and pushing it, fully for the fans and fully for the community and fully for the football club, and have football knowledge more than anything.
I think on the day, you know, when we recorded on the day, didn't we? And I think we all said at the time there was a feeling that this all felt very scary and very frightening, and it still does to a certain degree. But actually, in 6 months' time, everyone who I saw at UC at work, and people, oh God, I heard about Torquay, you know, everyone, and people who don't have any interest in football because of me kind of going, oh, I heard on the news type thing.
Yeah.
And, we all kind
saw
of
Sam on the news.
It was scary.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Swanee's on again. Yeah, but actually, we all kind of said it's scary right now, and there's some tough times to go through. But hopefully, in 6 months, 9 months, 12 months time, this will be the best day, because you can see from the way the social media output's changed, and from the the atmosphere in the stadium. And you commented from the game in November, and you could feel just the
that was the first real sign of when it was starting to protest a little bit. That Yeovil at home game, we're like, no, this club's miles off.
That's become depressing, though, hasn't it? It was just become a real struggle to enjoy anything about.
Well, I remember you saying as well, like when Liverpool fans singing like Gary Johnson, "We want you to stay," and it just all feels just so like just horrible.
Yeah. Just whilst we're talking about that, I don't think we've spoken to Sheridan since we beat Yeovil trophy, have we?
Oh, yes.
I actually forgot that happened.
I'll remember, Chris.
I'm still not over it, clearly.
How do you sleep at night? Yeovil won't celebrate that trophy now because we haven't won the FA trophy.
That was Gary's last win as manager, wasn't it?
Christ.
I'm not being funny, it was our second team, but anyway.
And it was a struggle.
Pretty much normal back four. Anyway, move on.
Yeah, to be fair, we don't have a second back four, so.
Oh, Chris, come on.
It all went wrong.
We're clutching straws this year, lads. Come on.
When we were within 6 points, and we're like, oh, look, we're going to.
It's coming.
Anyway, Weston Super Mare as well, of course, a team that you know quite a bit about.
Yeah.
On the Monday. Unfortunately, I'm not there. I'm on holiday, but I can hopefully stream it. I will be streaming it. I am saying it now. I haven't told who I'm on holiday with that yet, but but yes. So Weston Super Mare. What they've had a all right season to be fair. They beat ours.
We've struggled against them before, haven't we?
Lost 3-2. We lost 3-2 away this season, and we drew away.
We've never beaten them, have we?
No, we never beat
them. We've lost every single game.
Yeah.
And it was wetter than Yeovil at Weston as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was night. That night finished me off. I haven't been to an away day since. I was so angry. I was angry car journey home on my own in my life. It was horrendous. But they're safe. It must be nice. 15th place. They've had a good season. Any intel on sort of the feelings behind their season?
Yeah, they've had a great season. I think any season where you get promoted and you comfortably stay in the division, I would say, is a very successful season. This is probably about their level. I think they were National League South for most of their history, so this is kind of their level. But I started covering them in 2015, and their crowds have just increased exponentially. Like the support for the club is increasing year on year, which is really, really good. They've got a very good core. And a lot of their players have been together for a long time. A lot of the players I still know from when I was covering them in 2015. So same manager, same. So they've got very, very organized team. They've got a lot of talent as well. There's a few players that you just, those players you see in this division, you just think, oh, they could play higher.
Wilmot,
Lloyd Humphries is a centre back who actually started out as midfielder, but Scott Bartlett moved into and he is just phenomenal. Dale Grubb at this level, always dangerous, good from set pieces. And they've got a young goalkeeper on loan from Cheltenham who looks to be, progressing through the leagues. Was at Bath last season. And it's his second spell at Weston. So we had 2 very tough games against them. We beat them 2 at their place, and we beat them 2-1 in the last minute, or 2 minutes from the end at Hewish Park. So they've always been really, really tough games. They play very attacking styles of football, and they're a funny team. They occasionally get the odd weird result where they can see 4, but usually they're very, very solid. And I think there have been a few results were unlucky against Maidstone, I think, just conceding a bit of a sloppy goal. And they're a good side. They're one that you kind of think, oh, if they'd just been a little bit more consistent or got a few more draws where they lost 1-0, then they would perhaps be looking a little bit further up the table. So I think they go under the radar a bit, but they
have done.
I think they've done really well.
Yeah, no, they have. I think they've had a really good season. It'll be a tricky game, and as we say, they seem to be a bit of a bogey team of ours. I mean, that 3-2 makes it sound like a close game. It wasn't.
I have to say, yeah, I remember when they beat you because I remember texting my friend, thanks, guys.
Yeah, no.
At this point.
We're in the away end.
They beat us in the south, didn't they? Last time we were down there, Chris. Is that
they got relegated and then they beat us 2-1.
No, it was 2-2, wasn't it? Brad Ash scored, didn't he?
It was 2-2 away.
Yeah.
And then it was 2-1 at home. Their winger.
And then they scored from the corner, didn't they?
Yeah, their winger scored a bloody Gareth Bale goal at Plainmoor.
Yeah.
Literally, you know, like the
That's
Copa
what I
del
meant.
Rey
Yeah,
final.
70 metres he ran down the flank.
He ran off the pitch and still managed to keep on and then score. That game was like ridiculous.
Beat us 2-1, didn't they?
They got Ruben Reid as well.
Yeah.
Oh, don't. Yeah, you did a brace against us.
Scored for talking my first game in 2007.
Has he scored
for like a year already?
No. Has he scored a goal?
0-0 against Farnborough at the moment. So.
Okay. Yeah, no. Well, that should be an interesting one. Both games. I think that's what. Yeah, no, yeah.
Would you take 3 points from those two games?
Yes.
You have to in our state. Yeah, we've got to fight. Yeah, I want 4.
I'm a little bit worried because we're not good Saturday, Tuesday, and it's the same sort of format because our fitness isn't great. So
but then knowing us, we'll win on Friday and then lose on Monday.
Yeah. Just for humour value, that I'll probably take that. But you know, but yeah, you take 3 points. I mean, if we get, I think you have to go into Friday with the mindset of if we get something, it's a bonus. But obviously, but we said last week, you know, the 3 home games, we think 9 points is probably going to be enough, given the slightly shambolic situation that Taunton and Truro find themselves in terms of the amount of games they've got left. But so I think if we can win the 3 home games, and Saturday just gone look like the hardest. So
I've got this wonderful vision that we're away at Truro in Gloucester on Thursday night, winning the division. It's what dreams are made of.
Yes, yeah.
That would be peak National League South right there.
National League South.
Forget getting to the Championship. That will be. Yeah,
nothing will stop that.
Yeah, that would be that.
Amazing.
Yeah, no. Well, I think we do another one maybe next pre-season. We're probably in different divisions.
If we win this weekend, we'll bring it back for the next episode.
Yeah.
How about that?
I'm really busy. I'm so busy. I've got so much commentary to do.
Yeah, and if we invite Sheridan back next week, the Yeovil have won, then it'll just be me, you, and Bonnie, I reckon, Tom.
Yeah, double bolt again.
I'm nervous. It's getting to that period where it feels close. It feels like we're getting closer. And that don't underestimate that result on Saturday for us. I felt was huge, but it's nerve-wracking. And it's more pressure. I felt confident at Braintree. Actually, I thought we were going to beat them. But at home, there's something even more pressurizing about that.
We had a ridiculous battle against Woking, even though it ended like a 9-10 point gap or something.
Just looking at the fix. I was going to say, sorry, Swanee. I was just going to say, looking at the fixtures for Friday, Weston have gone a goal down, by the way. You know, you've got Bath playing Weymouth, Chelmsford at home to Dartford, Maidstone are at Eastbourne. So they're all games you'd imagine they'll pick 3 points from. Just important to keep winning your games until you cross the line.
I think that's it, isn't it? Because, I mean, you look at, Chelmsford have lost, like, all going to lose. But it's in our hands, and that's all we can do. Yeah. And if they win, they've got a very good run in Chelmsford, very good run in, and I don't
think it means anything though. When it gets to like the first 3 or 4 games, wherever teams are does not mean anything. The only teams that are actually the best to play are probably mid-table teams who have nothing on, but then they have no pressure. So you know, the last 3 or 4 games, it means nothing, to be honest. Wherever you're playing a lot of the time.
So we've still got to go to Welling, Truro, and Taunton. Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, all away from home. So
we want to get the points as soon as we can, I think, really, because we don't want to leave it too late.
I mean, that's the thing, isn't it?
Nervy about it.
Yeah.
And our final home game is against Havant at home. So you would imagine, from our perspective, Havant will already be relegated by the time they come to play more. And you'd like to think that maybe we'd have enough points to get out of it.
I think Chelmsford and Yeovil have still got Dartford and Dover. So.
Yeah, no.
If you got Dover, that's an automatic 3 points these days.
It's the last game of the season at Dover.
Oh,
so it's a team that drew against them at the start of the season. But
when you play Dartford,
it's twice to Welling. So
it means this league's weird. This league is very weird.
That playoffs could go anywhere. Soon Yeovil will go up. Anything can happen. We played some old ones. They were really good, but they can lose to any team. It's just random.
We are now guaranteed a playoff place. So
hey.
There we go.
Winning the league is boring. You want to
Yeah.
win it by the playoffs. It's no better feeling than winning the playoff final.
Oh, don't give me anxiety.
Just imagine for a second that you end up in the playoffs, Joe. Just think about that just for a sec. No, okay.
No.
I can't.
Yeah, that's all cool. Yeah, I think that's so. Thanks again for joining us. Not just today, the other 2 times this season. I don't know how long it'll be for Torquay and Yeovil.
Surely.
Yeah, Torquay and Yeovil in the same division again. So,
Predictions.
Oh,
A prediction for Friday.
3-0 Yeovil.
I'm near 2-0 Yeovil, a Frank Nublet brace.
No. I can see us nicking a point. If we play like we did on Saturday, I'm going to go for 1-1. I'm feeling optimistic.
Which means he thinks we're losing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm going to go.
I'll say 2-0 to you. We haven't got a lot of goals in this at the moment.
I think it will be 3-1 Yeovil, but I think it will be a late winner for Yeovil that seals the game as we're trying to catch an equaliser.
Very precise.
Who's going out of you guys?
I'm probably should be. I might have to leave it a bit later on in the day.
They've somehow allowed Dom on the travel club coach. So
Well, if you're not, you should tune in to BBC Radio Somerset. Just
there we go.
Seamless.
all we want is a Sheridan and Swanee point commentary. That would be amazing.
Yeah. I'll enjoy that. I'm a BBC Radio Devon fan.
You won't be able to get a word in, Sheridan, honestly.
I'll be summariser. It's okay.
No,
I think BBC need to make that happen, though. In fairness, I think that'd be. It'd just be me just sulking. Actually, you know.
In fairness, you've been on Fire Live as much as Sheridan recently, so
yeah.
Well, I would say 5 minutes isn't quite a 90-minute full game, but I was wedged in between like the breaking news. So, you know, Torquay United, wars, COVID inquiries.
I said this before you joined. You were peak time.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
Got the club talking as well.
Yeah, no, even the club talking to me. So Torquay Talk stocks have been on the up.
Yeah.
Still don't have a sponsor, but never mind.
Well, I obviously don't wish you luck for Friday, but I do wish you
very
luck
much
for the rest of the season after Good Friday, because
even on Monday.
No, I can't. Okay, after Easter, you can do what you want.
Fair enough.
But no, we all want you to, well, not just survive, thrive. So we're all
there we go. Yeah, and Yeovil, you're on the way to deserving the title. You did it correctly. Well done. Be interested to see how it all goes. And obviously York City, that hasn't really gone amazing either. Going back to the debates we had. So
maybe that's for the postseason.
Maybe that's for the postseason. But yeah, that's an interesting one, isn't it? So very interesting. But we'll see how it all goes. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Here's Hargreaves, chance for Torquay! Chris Hargreaves, the captain! He stays onside, Carlisle checks instead. He's looking for Banyan, sells!